actually take advantage of it, so that way they can know what it is that they're trying to do. Because a lot of veterans don't know, aren't aware, haven't been told of the issues that are upcoming, or haven't been told at all, like what's going on in general about all these different issues. Line Sped. Nice to meet you, Sped, I guess. Is it teach you? Well, that's the thing. You have to have certain questions on to what it is. The VA benefits is a very generalized aspect. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's not just a one simple class kind of thing. It's more of a, there's different sections. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, special. Okay. It's just depending on what it is you're trying to learn, what it is you're trying to educate it on. Is it because you're trying to file disability claims? Is it because you're trying to learn different capabilities? You're trying to invest in certain things, or you're trying to run a business or start a business. You're trying to get employment. You're trying to go to school. It's just like all those benefits are there for you and they're available. Some benefits are structured to be when you are 100% permanent and total. Others are available to all veterans. Like one of the main things being, as long as you have a disability rating, you can use the VA loan. As long as you're a veteran that got an honorable discharge, you can use the VA loan. The VA loan is one of those benefits that most people don't know of and aren't aware of, and that's something that educates them and allows them to purchase a home or be a first-time homeowner where you don't have to put down a down payment. Something like that is something that can make a big change and can affect somebody when it comes to trying to purchase a home. If you've never purchased a home and you are not in need of saving that 20,000, 30,000, 35,000 to put down on a home, that allows veterans to purchase a home without having to have the down payment. Excuse me. Also, within the VA loan, a lot of people don't know that there's it's called EEM. I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's like energy efficiency clause that the VA has. So let's say you are purchasing a home and you would like to install something or like to fix windows or whatever the case may be. What you can do is that you have the EEM. So there's different tiers. So it's just like if you just want to fix up the house or something like that, or you want to implement something and it'll be put into the loan. It won't be something you have to pay out of pocket. So if it's something under $3,000, it basically gets put into it. It'll have to fit. It'll have to be for like electrical work. So let's say you want to change out you want to have a new heater installed or a new HVAC installed or something like that. If the cost is going to be under $3,000 and you put that, it goes towards your VA loan and it just gets put on top of whatever the home price is. Now, if you have anything that's over $3,000 to try to fix when it comes to electrical, like in my case, I redid the whole insulation and windows for my home when I purchased it. That can be put into the EEM of your VA loan. So literally you can, on top of purchasing a home, you don't have a down payment. And then if it's under $3,000 for electrical fixes or efficiency, they'll clear it and they'll put it on there. If it's more than $3,000, they have to verify it. If it's, I believe, over $6,000, you have to make sure that there is someone, you have to have an electrician basically come out, service the house, like evaluate the house and see how much money it would actually save the veteran by putting this in there. So let's say you want to put in solar panels. That can be costly. If you're trying to put that on top of the loan, you would have to show that, hey, the money that you are going to save in placing this from what your previous home is actually going to save you money down the road when it comes to taking care of the loan. So in the case of mine, it was like, look, we redid the insulation in the house. We redid the windows. It was an older home. That lowered the cost efficiency, helped us, because basically they said over the life of the loan, you would be saving over like $20,000 in energy costs because of the fact that new windows, wouldn't let the heat out, wouldn't let the cold in, like stuff like that. Having a new insulation is just like, hey, the insulation will keep the temperature within your home, the thing. And that was all in the VA loan. I didn't have to pay out of pocket. It was taken. So basically the VA loan, once it approves it, you find the contractor, but you have to do the legwork and get the information prior. So basically, if you are trying to, let's say, put new windows into your home, you have to make sure that you go whether it was Home Depot, Lowe's, anybody that services, or even a window company. You have to get a quote for what it is. So basically, you talk with them. It's like, hey, I want to install these kind of windows. They're going to be installed all over the house. Every window is going to be changed out and stuff like that. You get your quote. You take that quote, and that's the quote that gets submitted to the VA when you start applying for this loan. So you have that information. The VA looks it over. They see the requirements. They say, okay, this is an actual reputable service. So with us, we went through. What's up, Lisa? You go and you do that, and now you can use that as a benefit. Now you got new windows or new insulation, or you can add a couple of solar panels, or you can change out, like I said, your water heater can be changed out, your HVAC can be changed out, and that's something that gets put into it. I don't believe they allow it for appliances, like to get newer appliances, but it does work for stuff that's energy efficient for your home. So like I said, if you need new windows, that's something that can just be put onto the VA loan, and it's not paying out of pocket. It goes into the price of, what you're paying for your mortgage, but you don't have to pay for it up front. The same way you don't have to put a down payment down, you don't have to put anything to get those windows fixed, or to get a new HVAC system that'll fix up the thing, or to maybe you can even probably redo the AC and the vents and stuff like that within the home if it's within reasonable pay. If it's like I said, if it's over $6,000, they have to verify. So you have to have an electrician come out, do the quotation, and show the numbers like, hey, this is how much you're gonna do it. But at the same time, most veterans do not know about the ability to do that when it comes to a VA loan. A lot of veterans don't understand. It's like there's certain little things within each program that is available to you that most people don't know and don't take advantage of. Because the thing is just like there's benefits out there that people just aren't made aware of. They're not notified of. They don't know what's going on. And it's just like if you allow and inform people about that, that's something that you can take advantage of. Because I didn't know about the EEM till I started reading up on it when I first purchased this home. And it was just like it said, hey, if it's under $3,000, it's gonna help efficiency in the house. It could get put onto just like the cost of the loan. It was just like you're gonna pay what you are for whatever the home is, whatever you bid, and whatever the contract is for, and the mortgage gets set at. That's what it is. It gets added on top of that, and then they basically recalculate the numbers. So if it's like, hey, it's an extra $6,000, that gets put onto the cost of the home. And as you keep paying that down, it was like, yeah, the cost, it's going to cost you more, yes, but it was going to cost you more regardless to try to get this fixed. Now, instead of you having to come out of pocket for it, it gets paid into the mortgage. So you just updated your home while putting it on your mortgage, and you didn't have to pay out of pocket for it. So that's a benefit that a lot of veterans don't know about. That's something I actually have to make a did you know video for people to be aware of. Jot that down. So I tend to forget a bunch of these things. It's just like I said, with a lot of this information, it's veterans not knowing about it. EM clause and VA loan. Those are little snippets that people don't know. And it's just like, hey, it makes a big difference. If you are able to purchase a home without a down payment, and then you're actually able to make it more energy efficient, which down the road means you will be saving more money, it's a benefit to the veteran to obtain and use those benefits. A lot of veterans don't know about that, and that's why it's like, hey, I didn't know about it. Shit. The guy that was basically helping me with the stuff didn't even know about the shit either till I mentioned it to him because I read through it. And I was just like, hey, did you know about the EEM thing? He was like, what's EEM? I've never heard of that. So the person that was servicing me with helping me with my loan, which was a veteran association basically, He didn't even know about the electricity. Let me see if I can find the actual definition for it. There we go. Damn. First thing that came out: how to get a VA energy efficient mortgage. I guess I had it bookmarked. So these are the eligible improvements when you come to the VA energy efficient mortgage. Is basically you can have a solar water heater installed, you can have solar panels installed, you can have weatherproofing installed, you can modify your furnace efficiency, you can get new installations, or you can work on fix your storm doors and or windows. The energy efficient mortgage does not cover AC units. So I was wrong on that. So it does not cover like replacing your HVAC. It does not cover vinyl sliding. It does not cover new roof or shingles, and it does not cover Energy Star rated appliances. So basically, it is if you need new insulation, you need new windows, weatherproofing the home, solar panels, or solar water heater, that's what you can use on there. And it's basically, like I said, there's requirements. I'll put the link here. So this right here is the link for it. I think everybody should be able to see that. Yeah. So that's the link for it. Basically, if you want to have an energy efficient home and you are gonna purchase a VA, you're gonna use the VA loan. This is something to take advantage of because, like I said, if it's a brand new home, you may not want to you may not have any issues where you have to like fix or take care of. But at the same time, if you have a little bit older home that you want to update a bit more, or even if it's the house that you bought that, hey, it could be brand new. If you're able to install solar panels on top of your home and it's not a pay or a cost that you have to put up front, it just gets put on top of your home loan. That's a big advantage to take care of. Said I'm muted. Am I still not being able to be heard? Or is that on one of the videos that I just got a message on saying that I'm muted? Yeah, that I think that was the older video that I just posted. I had to close it out because for some reason my audio was not working. Let me see content. Is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. Yeah. So that's one of the, like I said, that's one of the advantages of using the energy efficient mortgage. If you're able to use it and you have the capabilities of doing that, make sure you do so because it is something that is a big advantage to use as a veteran to be able to improve your home, fix your home, or do any other sort of that fits that criteria. A lot of veterans don't know about that. Like, hey, right now the housing market is kind of crazy for anybody to try to purchase a home. But at the same time, it's just like if you have the ability to purchase a home and you can actually fix it without having to pay out of pocket cost, you're already not having to pay a down payment as a veteran because it's the VA loan. But then on top of it, you're actually able to not have to pay out of pocket to fix the issues of basically, like here it goes. Like the fact that you don't have to worry about fixing that stuff is just like that's a big plus to be able to not have to put down a down payment, but then also be able to have something else updated or fixed within your home without any cost to you. Well, it's gonna cost you later on down the road, but it's not a cost that has to come directly out of pocket that you have to make sure and ensure to take care of on the spot. So like I said, if you want to fix solar water heater, which With solar, a lot has changed. Solar panels, that's a big plus because a lot of people want to go solar. It's just like, hey, if you live in a residential area or a place where you get nothing but sun, it was just like that's energy efficiency. You like remember with certain places, if you are gaining more energy than you're using, usually the energy companies will pay you for that because you're basically providing more energy and you're not wasting it. So they provide you with energy like that. New installation is a big thing also because look, if you have a older home, you know that if you're well, basically you're gonna have that inspected the first. Also, if you're buying a home, but you need to make sure that the insulation is at standard level. If it's not at standard level, they gotta clean all that stuff out, which is a cost, and then they gotta re-put all the insulation back in to make sure your heat stays in the house, your AC stays cool in the house. But at the same time, if you're not doing that and then you have bad windows and all the heat that like, hey, if you're heating up the house and you go to your windows and all the cold is still coming in, that's a problem because it's not being efficient. So now you have your heat going extra and continuously running and running and running to try to keep a house like warmed up, and you're just losing out money. So these are improvements that people don't know about. Um, yeah, because I don't think when I purchased my home, I don't think the ability to do the solar panels was there. Because the solar panels is a pretty large cost to add on to it. But I think now they realize it's just like, look, the money that will be saved by the veteran over time will pay off that amount that they're actually investing into putting the solar panels. So it's a cost that helps a veteran all the way, and it's still part of the VA loan. So you're not actually putting any money down. You're still making your regular payments, and you're still doing it that way. So that's a lot of stuff that, like I said, it's a benefit that most service members do not know of, and you can take advantage of this even if you're active duty. So you're a veteran or you're in the military, you can use the VA loan. That is not something that is just you have to be a veteran. You can do this as active duty if you're purchasing a home. And like I said, most people don't realize it's like if you're gonna get into real estate and that's what you want to do, you can do this for a home you're purchasing. So you may be purchasing this new home, whatever the case may be, but I think there is a requirement that you have to at least keep the home for a certain amount of time. See, here it goes, the tier breakdown. So improvements totaling $0 through $3,000. Easiest tier to get approved. You will generally need to provide a copy of a contractor bid or quote itemizing the cost. And you'll need to provide manufacturer information for each product. So basically, like I said, if you go through, like I did with Home Depot, you pick out your windows, what windows it is, how many windows it is, the location of like what it is. You have to itemize, hey, this many windows, these are the windows being done and stuff like that. Improvements totaling $3,001 to $6,000. In addition to the information, you have to obtain an energy audit showing a year's worth of utility cost averages for the home. So basically, this is something that you will have an electrician. You'll pay out most of the time when you're purchasing a home. Your real estate broker or entity should know somebody that works in an electrician field that should be able to provide this. Sometimes they might not be in your area. Sometimes they have to come out of area, but that gets paid into. You take care of that. They evaluate your home. They see, okay, this is the cost. These are the items they have. This is how much it's going to cost them to do that. Now, if they improve this, let's see how much energy they will save. So like I said, if you have an AC going all the time because your house can't keep the cooling and now you put brand new windows, you're going to save a lot of money because your AC isn't going to be going on full blast the whole year round, the whole summer. How it's been hot like this, you are not going to be spending money on that, because I know that's an issue with a lot of people when they have their homes. When it comes summertime and that summer heat and that HVAC is going nonstop, and all the cold just happens to keep on leaving, that the house is always warm again, that's something that you can fix. And those are different things. And then the improvements of $6,000 and up is challenging to obtain an EEM greater than 6,000. Requests for this tier have to be approved by the lender and the VA. In addition, it's important to understand that financing the cost of acceptable energy efficient improvements cannot count toward meeting the minimum loan amount necessary for VA loans utilizing second tier entitlement. The veteran typically has 6 months after closing to have the VA energy efficient improvements completed. Small fixes can be taken care of before closing. Otherwise, the lender may need to open an escrow account for the improvement funding, which happens. Home improvements, structural alterations. Uh, that's a new one. I have not heard of that one. Let's look that up. Improvements slash structural alterations. See, more information for people. Appreciate that, social media. So this is benefit provides medically necessary improvements and structural alterations. Oh, okay. This one I do know about. So this one is basically if you have a veteran that most likely will fall under the special monthly compensation. Basically, they're missing a limb, they're in a wheelchair, they're it's difficult for them to access their home. The VA does approve that to make changes. Some of them will install like wheel ramps in your home in order for the veteran to have access to their home, or sometimes comes to widening door frames. So if you have a door frame, they make sure to widen it so that you have the ability to go through with a wheelchair. I have a veteran friend that did that, but when he built his home, he had that in mind. So when he built his home, he built it so that way he had wide enough stuff just in case of a wheelchair incident and stuff like that. He does have issues sometimes walking and stuff, so he thought ahead. But here it is basically lifetime benefit for veteran and service members. 6,800 will be approved to address a service-connected disability, address a compensable disability treated as if is a service-connected disability and for which the veteran entitled to medical services under. Basically, you have the entitlement and the disability because of the military. Or you could do a non-service connected disability if the beneficiary has a service-connected disability rated at least 50% disability. No combining or combination of disability percentages is allowed. 2,000 will be approved to address a disability that is not covered. All HISA projects must be medically justified for the service-connected disability and or non-service connected disability. Please contact your local prosthetic and sensory aid service to determine your available lifetime HISA benefits. Oh, my tablet just went off. I was just like, what in the world? I was just like, but yeah, the breakdown is this benefit provides medically necessary improvements and structural alterations to veteran service members' primary residence for the following purposes: allowing entrance or exit from the primary residence. Like I said, if it's like a wheelchair access to the front or back of the home. Use of essential laboratory and sanitary facilities. So, like it says, rolling shower. So, if you need to have your shower updated to accommodate for a person that's in a wheelchair or to accommodate the service member, that can be done also. Allowing accessibility to kitchen or bathroom sinks or counters, lowering counters. So, basically, like I said, if you're in a wheelchair and you don't have access to have those counters like they used to be, that takes care of that also. Improving entrance paths or driveways in the immediate area of the home to facilitate access to the home through construction or of permanent ramping. Explained that already. Improving plumbing or electrical system made necessary due to installation of home medical equipment. So basically it says it will not pay for walkways or exterior buildings, spa, hot tub or jacuzzi, exterior decking, or new construction. But it does cover when it says new construction, it basically means they're not going to go out of the way and build. They're not going to pay to rebuild or build something off of scratch. If you already have steps or something like that, that's not a new construction because you already have it there. Now they're just going to try to build around that and make it like, hey, we can make a ramp that goes up these stairs also, or maybe the side, you got the steps in the middle and the side. They'll try to find a way to accommodate the veteran to assist him with his disability issue, which is, hey, I'm not able to walk. I use a wheelchair. I need this to go there. And I said, there's two different amounts and it breaks it down. It's 6,800 to 2,000. With the price going up and how everything is more expensive now, this probably should be looked into to basically update it and have more benefits available for people. But that's something that people need to be made aware of. If you need to fix your home because of your disability and stuff like that, this is something that the VA provides. That there's another program, I have to check what it is, but this is through the home improvements and structural alterations. There's a different one also, I believe, that you can use. I'm not sure if you can use them in conjunction or if it has to be one or the other, but I know there's definitely another one. I can't remember what it's called, that you can use to improve your home. So basically, look at it like this: if you're a veteran that has disabilities and has any issues when it comes to health concerns, you can provide yourself by getting a electric efficiency mortgage, by fixing it up, making sure it's not too cold, doesn't get too hot, putting the windows, fixing insulation, or getting solar panels to provide an electrical grid for yourself in case of you have to install this. You have the home improvements, which basically, if you need wheelchair access, if you need larger doorways within the home to be fixed, that's something that gets covered. Remember, these things do cost a good amount, but it's something that, hey, if you fall under that criteria, the VA provides assistance for it, and that's something that people need to realize. It's just like I said, most people don't know about that. If you are having issues that you are having trouble entering or leaving your home, or certain things in your home need changing or updating because of your disability, that's something that you have to look into. That, hey, if it comes to, like it says, if you have to lower a countertop because you can no longer, it's a problem for you to be standing upright and just reach it all the time, or like I said, if you're in a wheelchair and you're trying to gain access to it, they can lower that sink so that basically you can use it while in your wheelchair. So instead of it being over where you're sitting at, they can lower it and now you can use it at that height. So basically this goes towards assisting veterans. But basically, like I said, most people don't know about these, and it's something that is just like, hey, they find out too late, or it's something that they never find out about, and that's something that goes unused, where, like I said, there's so many different things that come to it. Excuse me. The same way that they have the home improvements and the structural alterations, the same thing can be done for, like, this is a great site. I finally have social media. Thank you for that, because this leads you into different things. The only thing is I dislike about these sites is just that they all look different. They're all the VA, but one is va.gov. This is another section of the va.gov, but the site looks different. So it's just like they need to make it so that everything looks the same, but I need to bookmark this. Because then it just breaks it down and it has rehabilitation and prosthetic services. The same way people get a clothing allowance, which the clothing allowance, I believe, is being paid out. Within the next couple of weeks, there should be people getting clothing allowances. The SHA specifically grants, yes. Because like I said, some are grants and stuff like that. It's just like, it's still a benefit that veterans get to obtain and use that they don't know is actually available to them. It's the same thing with the clothing allowance. Most people don't know if you have like topical cream or something like that, or you have the easiest way of putting it. Let me see. Here it goes. So that way is like the correct wording and I'm not miswording it. The veteran is eligible, must meet the service connected. Obviously, you have to have a service connected condition to have that happen. Whether prosthesis or orthopedic appliance causes wear and tear to your clothing, so putting it on, taking it off might rip clothes, might fade it in a certain spot. That's one thing. Whether the skin medication for the service-connected skin condition causes irreparable staining to the veteran's outer garment. Guide of skin medications can be found below. So basically, if you fit one of these, that happens also. How many locations and which outer garments are impacted? Shirt, pants, skirt, blouse. There's a maximum of 4 clothing allowances per benefit year. 2 clothing allowance per garment. Example, 2 upper garment and 2 lower garment. Reference, and it tells you the CFR, the Title 38 CFR. I believe chapter 3, part 8, 10, and then you get that there. Just yes, that is also another benefit. A lot of people with that one social media, a lot of people think that they have to be 100% P&T for that. And that's what people don't understand. When you are 100% P&T, you do get it. It does get covered. But at the same time, a lot of people don't know that they can go to dental, get their cleanings and stuff like that done. Most of the time, if it's like procedural stuff, then I think it has to be like referred or approved through the VA. But when it comes to the regular cleanings and stuff like that, you can get that done. And that's a cost. Like, hey, if your insurance doesn't cover it fully, most insurances should, but depending on your insurance, things change. But that's stuff that people don't pay attention to. Dental care is something that don't pay attention to. Like all this stuff here, like this site that you gave me is perfect because it breaks down all these different availabilities and different things that people have. And I'll definitely be making a video, basically probably trying to go through all of these and explaining these to just educate veterans and just like, hey, look, these are all the things that are available to you as long as you use them. You have the ability to use them and you fall under the correct criteria for it. This is a benefit that's there. So, veterans, if you have any TM5 conditions that need oral medication, GERD can be claimed as a secondary. Get private DBQs that can affirm GERD is caused by the meds. And also remember that with GERD, the digestive system for GERD on the schedule of ratings for it did change as of, I believe that was May 19th. It was updated. So there have been changes for it that are favorable for service members with GERD and irritable bowel syndrome also. A lot of people don't know that medications that people use can be used and cause secondary effects. That's one thing that a lot of people don't know. If you're being prescribed all this medication, most of this medication is there to help you, but it also causes secondary issues. If you're taking something and it's messing with your liver, messing with that, it's a secondary cause. It's something that causes issues. If you got reflux because you always keep on taking the stuff, that's something that's there. But like you said, a DBQ, a nexus letter, diagnosis from an outside entity always works. And sometimes you can even get that from the VA themselves because they're the ones that are making that connection and they know the issues that are caused by the medical prescription that they are handing out. And as you notice, there's many veterans that they can just pull out a whole drawer or a whole cabinet, just like, hey, yeah, look, this is all the shit they gave me. You start taking all of that, that's going to have a secondary effect on your body somehow. It's just making sure that you know what does what. So when it comes to that, that's a lot of stuff that a lot of veterans don't look into is those secondary issues. But then again, I say that with those secondary issues, a lot of those issues may, depending on the next administration, depending on the changes that may be upcoming for the VA, with certain talks of like the Project 2025 thing, they're trying to eliminate those secondary conditions. So that's something that a lot of people don't understand. It's just like a lot of people use those secondary conditions to do it. Oh, see, I didn't know that you can get rated for it twice. Once for the size and again for the pain, palpitation upon touch. I did not know that. I know that there was one for having the scar and then depending on the size of the scar and stuff like that, that was one. I did not know that being painful was actual another claim. That is interesting to know. That is good information. I appreciate that. Yes, I know that with all fingers you can get 10%. You can get 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. And people don't know that because a lot of people can do that for like if you have arthritis in your hands. If you have arthritis in your hands, you can claim that arthritis throughout all your hand. And that's 10% through all your fingers. Which for some people don't realize that, but all that 10% adds up at the end of the day when it comes to trying to get that 100%. But like I said, most people don't know these things and don't want to apply for these things and are very hesitant because they don't know they can apply for these things. Like I tell people, you have to check out the Code of Federal Regulations, Schedule of Ratings, Title 38, Chapter 1, Part 4. I always say that wrong. It's Chapter 1, no, Chapter 4, Part 1. I got this shit on here. So I can, yeah, there we go. Chapter 1, Part 4, because I always end up saying that. I always end up saying it wrong. See, and that's one thing that I did not know, and I will make sure to let veterans know that if you have a scar, if it's painful, you have to put that it's painful. But that's the thing; most people don't understand that. I definitely did not know that that pain of that same scar and having palpitations on it is another claim. So that is something interesting to know. That is something good because a lot of veterans do suffer scars, um, just everyday stuff. Being in the military, you can get a scar for just doing your regular training and you just get scratched up real bad or have a scar. Like, it happens. So to be able to have that and claim that, that's a big thing also. But this is basically what I tell people to check. But the pain part, that I did not know. That is also good. Same thing with the automotive adaptive equipment. If you fall under the special monthly compensation where it's you lost a limb, permanent loss of use, you can get the automobile adaptive equipment to assist you with changing your vehicle to make it like wheelchair accessible or the sort. They're not gonna buy you a brand new car, people. That's what a lot of people think it is. It's just like, oh, I get the allowance, I'm gonna get. No, it's not gonna be a brand new car. You're not gonna end up in a brand new Corvette, or a brand new Camaro. You know how us military like our Mustangs, Corvettes, Chargers, and stuff. They're not gonna give you a brand new one. This is something. This is something to allow you to have a vehicle that gives you wheelchair access of that sort. Um, Most people don't know about that also. Hearing aids. All that tinnitus, all that ringing in the ear we all deal with. To receive hearing aids through VA, you must first register at the Health Administration section. The following documents are usually necessary, and when you go through that, you'll get evaluated, basically loss of hearing, stuff like that. You go through the process, and it has it right there. The service dog one is another one that a lot of people don't know. It is a service dog. You don't get to pick what dogs you get. But service dog health insurance benefit is provided to veterans who are prescribed guide or service dogs for the purpose of veteran being diagnosed as having a visual, hearing, or substantial mobility impairment. VA does not provide service dogs, but does provide veterinary health care and other benefits in support of the guide dogs and hearing and mobility service dogs to maximize the life of the thing. So I know with this program, the VA does not provide the service dog. They basically refer you to a organization that takes care of that, and then you work with the organization to get the service dog. Basically, what the VA does is they basically send the information and send, like, it's kind of like a referral, I guess you can put it as, to that organization, like, hey, this person can use or is in assistance to need a service dog. You go through that organization, and then that organization is the one that goes ahead and does it. See, the VA will recognize for the purpose of paying benefits the following service dogs. The dog and veteran must have successfully completed a training program offered by an organization accredited by Assistant Dogs International or the International Guide Dog Federation, or both. The veteran must provide to VA certificate showing successful completion issued by the accredited organization that provided such program. And there it says, the VA does not know. Does the VA provide service dog? No. Veterans approved for service dogs are referred to Assistant Dogs International, accredited agencies, to basically get the dog. So, like I said, there's a bunch of stuff that most veterans just we don't get this information. We don't know what's going on. We don't know that all this stuff is available to us. Like, you don't see all of that. Let's all look. Speech therapy. I didn't even know about this one. Speech pathology home. Recreation therapy. Chiropractic program. So if you need to go to the chiropractor, stuff like that, that's available to you. They got rehabilitation and prosthetic services, amputation system care, audiology, assistive technology, blind and low vision rehabilitation, caregiver support, chiropractic. M21 guide. What is that? I've not heard of that. Let's see, M21 guide. What is that? What does that break down to? The M21-1. Haha. There we go. So this is the breakdown of where all the information can be found. Interesting. Hold on. Give me a second. I need to follow you. I'll do that in a bit. So M21 resources, reorganization guide. No. So burial advanced burial benefit. Oh wow. This is like I had no idea about this. I appreciate you, social media. I finally have social media. I'm glad that you finally have social media. I appreciate the hell out of this. Because this is a lot of information that is going to be very beneficial to. That is what we use internally. Ah. And this is something that most veterans have no idea actually exists. Because I didn't even know. This is the entire system? Okay. Bookmark that as this is the entire system, every rating, every disability, every lawsuit. Okay. I got a lot of reading to do. I got a lot of reading to do. I already got reading to do for my classwork, but this is definitely going to be a great VRE resources. This will be great. This is wow. Thank you for this. Thank you. I really appreciate you for I really appreciate you stopping in and mentioning all this stuff for me, because this is stuff I didn't know there was a full. I always wondered where there was a full thing, because I was just like, for all the information that the VA has, not having a place where all this stuff is just like readily available, I always found it weird. It was just like, how is it that we have all this stuff, but it's just like there's no site that connects all of it together? There is a site that connects it all together, but most people, I have not heard anybody mention this or talk about this whole thing. So this is something that I will definitely be going in depth into and looking and reading as much as I can possible, and just making videos on all of this. Because this will basically give me the breakdown and the information. This is that is just like, no, I know. So like, I knew there had to be a resource that did that, but it's just like you don't hear anybody talking about it. Nobody talks about it. Nobody knows. It's just like everybody, like when you go to va.gov, it's just like, here's a website. This is all this information. But you can never find, like, you have to dig to get to what you actually need or want to get to. Whereas here, This basically provides you all that stuff. And it gives you the breakdown and a link to it. Because I know that the CFR I use, but having this outreach, transition, and economic development, business applications, part 1, chapter 1, and this will help with veterans trying to study these symptoms. A ton of these are based on what you say to doctors. Yes, that's the one thing that a lot of veterans don't know. It's basically based off of what you say. It's basically using the schedule of ratings. What's in there is basically, I wouldn't say a guideline because I don't want people to like misuse or misstate stuff just to try to get the benefit. But if you have the issues, depending on what you say is what gets you the criteria and get you that information. So that's something that a lot of people don't know. Like what you say at the CMP exam has a big effect on what it is. Intake, receiving the screening, receiving mail, screening mail, claims for folder, staff, manage jurisdiction and transfer, application review, claims establishment. Wow. Thank you. Again, thank you. Thank you. Because this will help. Well, I'll try to grow the channel as best I can and try to push out more information, but I know having a resource like this will allow me to make videos where, like I said, it can just be like, hey, check this out, do this. And I could just make a whole ton of videos and just push them out and then provide that information for people, especially when it comes to like pension survivors. The DIC, which I've spoken to a couple of people about on that situation. Oversight, notice of death, benefits payable at death, burial benefits. The DIC again. Eligible determinations of information sharing for other benefits, matching programs. This is wow. I'm gonna take an assumption that you work for the VA social media. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna make that assumption. Or either you worked for the VA or you currently work for the VA. I'm gonna just make that assumption. Cause this right here is gonna be, see, because it breaks it down to that. Okay, this will take you to those links. This will have it, but this has that. VSO. VSO professional service. Okay. I appreciate you for that. I really do. Because the more we can educate veterans, the better off veterans will be when it comes to filing for disability and gaining disability and gaining all the resources and information that they don't get. Because this is something like, one thing I don't understand is just like when you're on active duty or your National Guard or Reserve, nobody talks to you about this. Nobody talks to you about you, and most people are finding out when they're getting out, like, hey, you need to file for disability, and you have no idea what you're doing. Which is crazy to me because it's just like all that stuff is not provided for people. This is the manual. Wow. Okay, well, this will definitely, especially this here. Well, a lot of people don't know about these benefits. A lot of people don't know about, they don't know Chapter 35 in depth. Administration of Educational Benefits, Chapter 36. All these, when it comes to education benefits, is one of the biggest things because it's just like, hey, to be able to get an education and not have to pay for it, or just to be able to have some assistance with it, it goes a long way. So that's something that people, it's crazy for people to not know what's going on. So that's something that I do appreciate. Excuse me. Well, yeah, this is the VRE shit because I'm about to read this because I'm gonna try to use the VRE. I'm using my GI Bill, but I'm gonna definitely use the VRE afterwards. Yeah, I noticed because I see it here, and then it just links you to it, and then it breaks it down as to survivor independence educational assistance. This is something that I think most schools should probably actually pay attention to because a lot of them have questions about the changes and stuff like that. Eligibility and entitlement. This is something that when it comes to schools, a lot of the schools aren't aware of this capability and they don't know this program enough. They just know it's like, hey, you're a service member. They do it that way. But this having like the period of eligibility, and then you have the amendments, pretty long list of amendments for all this stuff. Reserve Educational Assistance Program, post 9/11 Montgomery GI Bill, Montgomery GI Bill selected, reserve. Yes. This is a ton of information. Yeah, and especially the reserve. The reserve doesn't get as much love because active duty likes to act like they're not as important, which they still are. They're still a veteran. They're still serving our country and decided to serve our country. So it's something that I didn't even know about the selective reserve part. That's something that's new to me. I didn't know that they had a whole different program. I thought it was just part of the same program, but the reserves have same programs also. It's just named differently, but like I said, most people don't speak on that stuff because a lot of stuff is more for like the active duty that people or veterans that they do it. If with this all this information, I'll definitely be making videos that encompasses everything to try to educate people that are just starting or are serving currently and don't know about what's going on, so that way when they're on their way out, they have these benefits and all this stuff and information there to actually assist themselves and better prepare themselves and their family for a better future with this. 31. Definitions, which is the term active duty, which a lot of those have, executive documents, establishing principles of excellence for educational institutions serving service members, veterans, spouses, and other family members. April 27th, 2020. And that's good because then that's factual information that I can say like, hey, this is where it's actually at, so you can look it up yourself. Which is the problem with a lot of people, that they don't want to take the time out to actually educate themselves on the issue, so they fall behind. But this is like the supreme breakdown of it. So this is duration, which people tend to get wrong. Assistance and amount payment, something that breaks that down. Oh man, I got a lot of reading to do. This is gonna be a busy semester, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a busy semester, going through all of this and reading this, and making videos on this. So this, like I said, again, thank you. I finally have social media. I'm glad you finally have social media. Thank you for being able to provide this information for me so I can use it to assist veterans, because this will go a very long way when it comes to assisting veterans. Having all this information in depth to be able to show them, highlight, and talk to them about that. Yes, the easy button, and for veterans, they need the easy button at times because most people don't want to actually go through and dig in through everything. Quality assurance, strategic oversight, workflow management. What was that? Appeals and reviews. This is, I think, this is the one that I'm gonna definitely take a deep dive in to educate better people on the appeals and the review process. Because this will, like, I know somebody that's dealing with this one right now. I know somebody that's currently dealing with this. that they've been stopping in a couple of weeks and they've been dealing with this. So that's definitely something to look into for me to be able to assist that veteran with it. Um, I I finally have social media. I have to ask, do you yourself do this on YouTube? Is this something that you do? Because you definitely have the well of knowledge to be able to assist veterans and do this and make a channel on YouTube that'll definitely assist a ton of veterans. And even then, you don't even have to be like most people I know sometimes shy away from being on camera all the time. But you can make a faceless channel of all this information, and people will greatly appreciate you for it. Cause this right here is just this right here is a lot of information. This wow. like I'm like I'm kind of like I'm excited but kind of like feel a little overwhelmed to find all this info and then see all these different topics. You usually jump in if you see lives. I appreciate you for jumping into this one. I will say that. I appreciate you for jumping into this one. But I believe you should definitely be one to make a channel because you have that knowledge. Me, I'm in the process of continuing to learn and I'm wanting to learn. I'm in my school for my master's degree. Um so when it comes to trying to do these videos and make stuff, it takes time and I'm not all that well versed in it, but being able to have a resource like this will allow me to become better versed in being able to assist veterans in an even more in-depth thing instead of just helping with whatever questions they may have or topics of discussion. Because then it's just giving veterans the actual facts and not trying to gaslight them or not trying to give them information just to tune in. It was just like, hey, if you need assistance, I'm here to assist. I'm not here to gaslight you into believing it's just like, oh, you need to come back because I got this information. I was just like, which a lot of these channels do. But this is great information. I always just wonder why the VA doesn't push stuff like this out, where it gives you all the references, because most people just know about Title 38. That's what most people know about. Most people don't know the rest of this information. They don't know M21-1 resources. Never heard of it. Till today, this is the first time I've heard of it. And I've been doing these lives every Sunday for the past I don't think I've hit a year yet, but I'm closing in on having a year of having these videos done, these lives done. And like I said, I'll keep on learning more as we keep on going, but this is just stuff that will definitely assist veterans. Pre-discharge claim. Oh, so introduction to pre-discharge claims. Benefits delivery, discharge, and emotional processing. This is the full breakdown of this, and this is that I might need to ask because I keep seeing it's just like people file for once they become 100% PNT, they file for Social Security also, and it's just like, is there that I need to look into because I don't know, am I able to apply at my age or am I not able to apply? That's something that I need to look into because it's just like if I can apply for it, I was just like, why not? But that's one thing that I have to look into and I myself have to do research on that thing because I don't know what the requirements are and stuff like that. Is there a site that you know of that would help educate people on that? because that's one area that I'm definitely out in the water with. The Social Security thing, I'm definitely out in the water with, where I don't know of any like pure resources where it's just like, yeah, you can Google stuff, but I don't know about actual resources. Like something like this, I have no idea. I know it exists. I just don't know where to look for that one. But see, the BDD process, that's for a lot of the my friends that are still in that are getting out. I tell them to go through this process and make sure they do it. Because there's a lot of information there. The whole 180 days to 90 days is one of the things that hurts a lot of veterans or soon to become veterans, because they don't know about the whole between 180 days to 90 days. They don't understand that when it's 90 days and below, you can't go through the process. And then a lot of the time, certain units will try to screw that over and not allow service members to actually take advantage of that by sending them to the field or sending them some training exercise, and it cuts into the service members thing. And that's one thing I think that's something that needs to be instituted into the military. Is just like, hey, when you hit your 6 months, if you are ETSing from the military at your 6 months mark, you need to be able to be sent somewhere or something done that allows you to take care of all this stuff. Or at least, hey, you hit 180 days, you need to make sure to file or submit your disability claims, or send like a waiver or a document basically saying, look, I am not going to file for any of this, and then that clears you. Or I am going to file for this, so that way it's just like there's some protection on service members to get that done. Because a lot of the times it's just like a lot of people don't know about this program, and a lot of people don't get given the time to take advantage of the program because of that. That's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. I was just like, if you don't have much rank, most of the time they mess with you. They send you to the field, put you on details and all this stuff, and it doesn't allow you to actually take care of yourself on your way out. Whereas compared to other ones, if you have some rank on your chest, most of the time you're able to get away, or hey, I'm taking care of what I need to. And most of the time they don't bother. But it changes and it varies. Yeah, see, because the Specially Adapting Housing Grant or the Special Housing Adaptation Grant, um, how do I submit an application for special adapted housing, special adaptation, and it gives a breakdown of all that. The VRE is one thing that I want to make more videos on. Outreach, transition, and economic development. Public contact. Social Security is not guaranteed if one is 100% PNT because it's based on the applicant's capacity, work, or being near death. There are veterans that are 100% who work for those jobs. Yes, that I do understand. I know that it's two different criteria that it falls under. Basically, Social Security takes it on a different level compared to what you are as a VA 100% PNT. For them, it's, I don't know if it's stricter or what the case is, but I know it doesn't fall under it. It's not the same justifications for it. Now, if you have stuff that's disabling to the point where you can't be employed, then SS Social Security accepted. But I've heard it's a tedious process that you need to hire help to actually get through with it and get it done. It's not like the VA process where you can do it on your own kind of thing. You can file for your disability claims. You could do it like that, and you could get your CMP exams and all that stuff. From what I hear with the Social Security is just like most of the time people hire a lawyer or somebody to get the stuff done because the process is not as, I wouldn't say simplified, but it's not as easy to maneuver or deal with in those cases when it comes to trying to get approved for Social Security. So you got the Family SGLI, Service Veterans Group Life Insurance. This is another one I need to make videos on because people aren't aware that they can still get this. And I know you don't have to go through the process. Even if you're disabled and stuff like that, you can still get life insurance through them without having to have the evaluations and all that stuff. But I know there's a time period for this. Let me see if we're going to ask questions.
Insurers use a health review to determine eligibility for insurance claims. Certain medical conditions can make it difficult to pass this health review and obtain coverage. In case of VGLI, eligible members can apply during the 40 no health application period and be approved without any health review.
Yes, that's the. I knew it was a time period for this for the VGLI. Because that if you do it basically within that time period, you don't have to worry about going through the health and review like it just stated. You don't have to go through the process of actually being evaluated. I hear rain, and it got caught out in the rain. Yeah. So basically your ETS date is what they go off of. A year and 120 days. So a year and 6 months, 4 months. 4 months. A year and 4 months. So 16 months are from ETSing. That's when you have the ability to do that. I already surpassed that. Did I surpass that? Yes, I did surpass that. I have two. Well, no, not from my ETS date. I don't have 2 years from my ETS date. I have 2 years from being out of the army now. Um. Okay, so that's good to know. So I'm guessing 42. What 42 40 day no health. Let's see what that is. Learn about more. Learn more about the conditions that may make you uninsurable. Yep, doesn't work. It's about right. That doesn't work either. Must be right. Probably got to find a way to like. Still, this is still great information though. This is stuff that will help me help a lot of people. Because I still have a bunch of friends that call me just to file for disability and stuff like that. Because I am 100% PNT and I did it. The issue is I got my 100% PNC without the secondaries. It's just literally my evidence showed and was provided enough through my time in service in those 10 years of service that my body was messed up enough that I didn't need to provide any secondaries to get to 100% PNT because of the shit that my body has gone through. But some people don't have that and some people don't know about the secondaries. But this is just information that can assist them, especially this, because most veterans do not have no idea about the VRE program. I have considered that social media. So what I'm trying to do is because I'm working on my master's degree in public administration. I graduate this coming May. So I was going to try to use that as an advantage to try to apply for federal employment, but with a master's degree on top of it to try to make me a bit more competitive compared to others. So having the master's degree completed instead of like in the process of doing it, because I don't want to deal too much with trying to work, family time, and and school at the same time. Is just like, look, I did that with the military and it took away a lot of time from my family. So I don't want to do that at that point. So at least if I can complete once I complete my master's degree, have that done and apply for a bunch of those jobs, those federal jobs and take advantage of that. Um I would like to get my accreditation and to become a VSO, but that's also a process. And it's just like there's a lot of stuff I want to do to keep on assisting veterans, but I think with a public administration degree, that allows me to at least work in the government field, have a backing, have a military background, have a educational background in creating policies and stuff like that that can actually assist veterans, and I can start working on creating policies like small now in my city and my town, and then possibly work my way up. But it you already know that's a process. But that's what it's trying to do. So the NBA can put you in a GS9, then after that, the 52-week caps you at qualifying. If you're mobile, move to Maryland ASAP. That's what I was just there. I was at DC. What was it, a month ago? And I thought about it. I've been contemplating it. Um, That's what I'm looking towards. Uh, but we'll see. Well, like I said, it's a process. Woodlawn, Maryland is headquartered for numerous Woodlawn, Maryland. Okay. Woodlawn, Maryland. I'll look into that. Definitely put me closer to home. That's for sure. Cola is low, but the locality pay is high. Okay. I'll definitely look into that. Woodland, Maryland. Because definitely that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that I can assure myself that MBA with that masters, that I know will put me at it'll put me in that higher tier. So coming in at GS9 and then after that going being able to move up, but then having that master's degree makes me feel a bit more comfortable with it. So it's not the competition is just like there's people that are gonna have it, of course, but I have my experience with the military, 10 years in the day. I think I did a lot as the operations for Europe, basically. I'm not even gonna just say Germany. I did a lot of operations servicing all of Europe. So managing that was a great experience out in Germany. But then being able to do these other stuff, have that available. Um, yeah, moving the family, it'll be something, but it's still an opportunity that would be great to be able to work in one of these agencies and be able to work towards that retirement of that 20 years and just buy in my time. Sish. I'll keep that quiet. I gotta keep that quiet. But yeah, that's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm definitely working towards. Try to take advantage of that as best I can. Drivers one source hire heroes USA. Justice involved, non-paid work experience, justice involved, resources, resume your way assistance. Transformer currency. This is another one right here I didn't even know about. So this is a paid service though. Interesting. We get TSP, Social Security, and federal pension. Biggest lesson: your federal pension is based on your top 3 pay grades. I I'm fine with that. And that when you mean the top 3 pay grades, that's your GS level pay grades, I'm guessing. So depending on how high you get, that OPM site is all the federal pay grades. OPM down to the hour. Okay. Did I pass that? Yes. Okay. Federal volume criminal justice for one stop. Resume interview federal apprentice. Apprentice. Back to the top. And you said the OPM site, the pay grades in every city, state, and classroom. And that was where? Let's see this. It said follow the money. These videos. You said the OPM site is all the federal pay grades. That's what I'm trying to.
There we go. See, this is the veteran preference and special hiring authorities. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. So this here. Motivational Army, Vista System Campus Program. This would be interesting to look into. Additional placement. So this. So personal classifications, analysis, disability employment, entry, hiring information, types of hires, repetitive hiring, variations, part-time. Damn, that's a lot. Info. Pay and leave. OPM, office services, pay systems. Salary tables. There we go. I found it. Just a little bit of digging. A little bit of digging and I found it. That shit has a breakdown of cities by name. New York, Newark. Let's see this one. This is where I'm originally from, so that's why I'm looking. I'm looking at the pay scale there. And coming in at GS9, 70,000 to start. G15, Jesus Christ. Washington, Baltimore, Arlington. GS9 is still up there. Still a pretty decent pay scale with disability on top of it. That's still pretty good. Oh, it has an hourly too. So hourly is basically step one. What is B/show? Okay. Hourly rate, basic rates by the grade and step. Hourly title, overtime rates. Oh, okay. So if, oh, see, I did not know that. If you look at a GS9, so does that mean like every year? So let's say if I start off as GS9, after a year I go to GS10. And then after year G11, like that, like, or is it by the step? Do I go up a step? Oh, oh, that is a big difference. That is a big change after 50, after a year. So literally starting off at like 70,000, then next year I'm at 77,000. Then the year after that, 85. But then there is a cap depending on the job you get. There is a cap of what grade you can go up to, basically. And you skip steps. Okay, so I will definitely try to. I definitely got to look into that. I always wanted to be around here, but that's only if the job. Okay, it's lower here in Kansas. The job is a single grade GS. You get steps. Okay, so it basically has to be in a range. So the GS job has to have the ranges in order for you to qualify to go up. If it's just like, hey, you stay at this level, you'll just go up step by step. Got it. That is good. Man, I appreciate the hell out of you. Let's just make that, let's just establish that. I am appreciating the hell out of you right now. I don't even know how to thank you. I don't even know how to thank you. This is great information. How Seattle? Seattle would be nice. Some pretty good thunder we dealing with outside. Because there's a lot of locations to go to. Let's go to Hawaii again. Let's go back. I don't know if I want to stay there the whole time though, but that would be nice. GS9 through GS12 job over there and then live on the beach the whole time. That would be pretty amazing. If you have a single GS job, if you apply for another job at the next grade, you obey the two-step rule. Go 2 steps up in your current grade, then jump up to the next grade. So if you have a single GS job, if you apply for another job at the next grade, you obey the two-step rule. From a GS9 step 7, I jump to a GS11 step 3 if I apply to an. Oh. So basically you would go up 2 grades. Oh wow. Nice. That is awesome. So you were at G9 step 7 and then you applied to a GS11 job. So then that bumped you up to step 3 in that job because you're applying for it and moving up. Got it. And that works for basically any the two-step rule is basically for any job. So basically you started at GS9 step 7, so you would be here, but since you're applying for another thing, you go up 2 levels from the beginning, so that would put you at the. That's crazy. Is it something that it's just like, but it's so basically you applying for that job is something that you're doing within that field, or that job is just like a different opening, I guess you could say, that's available. Locality payment of 21%. Jeez. Generally, GS10 is a rare grade. So the progression is 9, 11, 12. My current gig is a 9, 11, so I'm auto jumping. Okay. Yeah, because that's one thing I know. I don't really hear much GS10 jobs. That is weird. I wonder why that is. Any job as long as you have 52 weeks at the lower grade. Okay. I need to rebuild up my resume then. Because this is a lot. this is a lot of opportunity here, and there's a lot of information I wasn't like I kind of knew about it, but I didn't know of it as in depth, and I definitely didn't look into the U.S. of personal management, which that was just me looking into this because I figured this was where it was at, and then just researching it and finding it is there. Auto jumps and jobs with grade ranges also obey the two-step rule. The GS12 is a monster because it's an auto 10K jump from. Oh, yeah, because that is a jump. Well, and in this case, like depending on where you are, to so you basically minimum is getting 10K, but then depending on locality stuff, that'll also raise it more. So when they do like, so how does the so like how it has it incorporating the 4.7 general schedule increase and a locality payment of 20%? How does that differentiate? So basically, because each place is different, so the locality is what makes it that like GS9 is what makes it at 21, makes it at 61,000 because of the locality of it or like the cost of living and stuff like that, or is that added to it? Like that's the one thing I never understood with the locality payment because it's just like the range is at a certain point, but then because of the locality, it gets upped more. We'll also do seven. Oh, so basically, this is basically the base pay of let's say GS9 61,000, but the locality payment raises it up 20% from that, or is this including is the 61,000 with the 20% on top? Oh, that part I did not know. Assistant. Oh. Let's see what Indianapolis has. What's their 17? The per city amount. Okay. So there's a bigger breakdown from this, basically. XML data. That would be nice to pull and just do research on and do fucking R Studio on it and throw all that shit in there. So this is for KC salary table. And then if you're getting paid overtime, that's wild. So basically, you don't get paid overtime at these levels. So the GS12 level kind of do, but 13, 14, and 15, there's no overtime. You're just getting your salary. Everything else, it's time and a half, basically. Except for GS. Oh, kind of. That is interesting as hell. Well, I know what I'll be doing. Shit. Definitely gonna start fixing up that resume and start sending shit out. So I'll definitely move back home for that. What? That took care of that one. Yeah, figured somebody. But yeah, that that is interesting because this literally gives you the breakdown of how much you would get paid and stuff like that. So it allows you the thing, and then the locality pay is paid on top of what that is. So I know New York City is crazy for it because I have one of my cousins that works as on the thing a locality payment of 37%. Or some people work in higher locality pay areas adjacent to low cost of living homes. Hmm. I I read what you putting down. I'm reading what you putting down. Um, hmm, that's wild. 37% locality payment. That is wild. Example: if you live in Indiana, have an address in Chicago on paper, and work in Chicago. I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying. Hmm. I have to. That means I got to do more research. I got to do a bit more. I got to do a bit more research and find those locations. Um, because it wouldn't be bad to live in. It'd be basically living in Jersey, but then commuting into New York City would be terrible. But there's other places in New York that New York City is the one that has that locality payment. Thing is living and finding a place in New York City that isn't crazy. That's the problem. So maybe New York City might not be the city I move. Might not go back home, but finding another city that to live around and work from there, that would definitely be a plus. It's just doing the research, finding a place that, like you said, if I live across the state and it's an easy commute, that's not that bad. I don't want to deal with New York City traffic going from Jersey. I was just like, I've dealt with that traffic my whole life. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not doing like a 4 hour trip every day back and forth. That shit is ridiculous. I just live in the city though, maybe, but we'll see. So yeah, because I have noticed that some will pay for your relocation to the area that you're working towards. Which, if they're gonna relocate me, best believe I'll take it. It's just looking into the availability and the jobs. One thing I do have a question with the GS jobs. Like, as long as if it says, because it has like permanent on there, is it that basically you are going to be in that location and stuck there no matter what happens? Because I've seen like permanent or like yes, I have seen that. I have seen that. So how would a fully remote work? Because then the thing is if you're in one location, but you wouldn't get the locality pay of that location unless, like you said, you work in that area and have an address in that area to do so. So you would have to do it in that manner, the same way with the whole living in Indiana, not a temporary job detail. Okay. So, like in the cases like working overseas in a permanent position, that means you're gonna just be there till you leave, kind of thing, or because I know with like overseas stuff, like if you get a GS job overseas, it's like you're overseas for a certain amount of time that you can only work there. You can't work there like indefinitely. Or is that, or am I misinformed on that one? Because I know I have a friend that's working, I have a couple of friends now that are working in Germany, but I don't know if they actually stay. Can they just stay there like for 15 years? They can work at that GS position in Germany if they chose to. Because I'd definitely go to Germany if I could. I'd go back off of DC's pay. Okay. Yeah, because I have a couple of friends that are in Germany that got out the service with me at the same time, but they got GS jobs in Germany and stayed over there. So I was just wondering how that works. Is it just like, hey, if I get a GS job in Germany, do I just stay in Germany till I retire, or is there like, hey, you can only work here for like, let's say 6 years, 7 years, and then you got to come back stateside, or they'll move you? Like, that's the one thing, is I wouldn't want to do that. That it's just like I move someplace and then there's a possibility of you having to go somewhere else, kind of thing. Because that's different. It's different, but all these places, man, all these places. I lived in Baltimore, Maryland for 2 years, kept my place in Chicago, and the feds paid my hotel, per diem, flight, etc. I see my locality paid during the detail. Okay. Because that's what I'm saying. If I work remotely and I have my address, let's say I have, since I'm from New York City, let's put it like a scenario. Since I'm from New York City and I have a home address in New York City, which I still do, I can put that as my home address, but then work remotely from a different location, but still receive the pay from New York City. Is that what you're basically telling me? Or training's a okay. So Pedro, that is a big influence on that. That is very good information to know. Ha ha. So basically, I need to find remote jobs from New York City and get the locality pay of New York City, but still be able to be anywhere and still do my job as long as I'm doing my job. But then there's probably gonna be like criteria for like to work or something on certain days. If they have it that you have to like go in maybe an office or something like that, which would be fine as long as I'm notified ahead of time, I guess you can say. That would make it New York City pay and then not living in New York City. That would be insane. Cause I'll definitely, because I know I've seen a bunch of jobs that have been posted that have been remote jobs. So I'll definitely have to see about applying for those, getting those. But so, okay, I got a question for you then. Should I start applying now without completing my master's degree, or should I apply once I complete my master's degree? Some positions may be in different regions and will pay you your New York City locality as long as they have remote work as criteria. Hmm. Apply now. Got you. I'll get on that then, and just put that as part of my resume that graduating in May of 2025 with my MBA. I'm planning to get into a rhythm. Okay, appreciate that. I really do I appreciate the hell out of you right now. I appreciate that. I'll definitely start doing that now. Start fixing everything up. Well, I already got, because I got the loan forgiveness already because of the 100% P&T, because I'm using my GI Bill to finish my master's degree. Because I did my bachelor's while in service, got out, now I'm doing my master's. Oh no, yeah, I know that. But that's the thing, I'm using right now. I don't have any school loans because I'm using my GI Bill to complete my master's. So that should take care of that. I don't have to worry about that. I know that's available, but I don't have to worry about it. Unless I decide to continue, I can continue to. I don't know if I want to get my PhD. We'll see. That's gonna be a lot of fucking work, but that's something that I definitely will look into. That's something to definitely look into. Having that and having that availability will definitely make shit a lot easier. But definitely having to fix it, doing all that stuff, looking for locations, looking for job like I said, if it's a remote job and I could do that, the proximity thing, be that one wouldn't be too bad because like I wouldn't mind. I have no issue living back in New York City again. Do I want to? No, but you said Harvard certificates. That's what I was looking into, that also getting certifications and stuff like that. A couple from NYU, I'm there, but definitely I'll look into Harvard. That would be shit. Because I know those certificates will go a long way. Because right now I'm doing my master's in public administration, but I'm also getting a certificate for nonprofit leadership. So I'm getting that on top of it. And that's part of the master's program. So a nonprofit leadership certification or certificate. Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to do it that way so that they pay for it like that. But then also, wouldn't the VRE program be able to assist with that if I'm trying to get those certifications with them as part of employment purposes? Because that's what I was looking into. I'm trying to do the masters and take up all I can with the GI Bill, but then use the VRE to also get some extra certifications and stuff like that. Because, like I said, if it's the ability to do that and then still be able to get a job, because then I'm guessing also with having those certifications, it also assists with being able to try to apply for higher grade jobs. Having those certifications in that field, if it assists, they should. Okay, I'll definitely look into that. I just need to fix up my resume now, build that shit up, and start just applying now. See what's available. Because if we gotta move, it's not. It would suck. But if it's a benefit well worth it, it's just like that wouldn't hurt to do that, especially having that. So, and I'm guessing that's the email to just contact them, or is that the? Hold on, let me see the site because that's crazy having a damn Harvard certification. That's wild. That's not one I would have ever thought of doing, but it goes a long way. Specifically, what you mentioned, Harvard plus nonprofit. So, okay. Yeah, because that'll. And these are, that is crazy. Some of these are like, oh, it's on campus, but it's literally 2 days. I think it's like 2 days. Yeah, I've noticed that with schools that is a big thing. It's on campus. So I would. So my question would be like for some of these, like let's say it's an in-house kind of thing. I would have to contact the VA to get this approved to basically be paid to send over there, go over there, do these classes, and then come back. I'm guessing. Yes and yes. Thanks for the extra homework, man. Shit. I got a lot of shit to do now. Man, this is gonna be one this is gonna be one last year of there's gonna be a lot of changes coming. It's gonna be a lot of changes coming. But we won't take advantage of it. It would be great because it's just like all these certificates. It was just like, especially because I can use my GI Bill to pay for it. And the thing is it's not gonna take up because the thing is it's 36 months worth of it. I'm gonna be done and still have a whole year worth of my GI Bill left. And if it's like 2-day courses, you know how many damn 2-day courses I can take for? Okay, so it says no participants may complete the required programs online on campus. Let's put this over here. So this is just the benefits of certificate of leadership excellence. It's a recommended first program to take for a certificate. No participants are encouraged to choose the first program they feel best fits their current professional needs. Are there any prerequisites required? There are no prerequisites required to the non-credit on certificate of leadership excellence. However, prospective participants interested in taking leadership development program that lists itself as advanced should consider their experience in this topic area or gain knowledge through the introductory version of this program. Interesting. Because this is a bunch of the ones that they have leadership certificates. In management development. Cost of each program can be found on respective program pages, applicable programs. And that's okay. So it's just also doing research on different schools when it comes to next class is August 18th. Well, that's today. Marketing, communication, leadership, and management, September 30th. The upgrade is just like 180 for the certificate itself. Ethical leadership, December 6th. Executive leadership mastery session. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. These are the ones in September. Authentic leadership, 2 days, consecutive. Development. It's a quick certificate, but looks good to have something on the resume. You can always upgrade to pay later. Well, yeah, any like certificates from a top-notch school are definitely shit. Having anything say Harvard on it is pretty good. So that's something to look into. That's definitely something to look into that I could take advantage of. Man, that thunder outside is booming. But yeah, any of these certificates, that's still because that's what I was planning to do. Beauty is adding value to your resume while getting an MBA. That name and condition alone can get your application pulled. Okay. I'll talk. Because basically, so yes, that yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. So now my question, okay, so I have a question with that is like, is would the like how do I go about doing that? Like, would I be able to do that through the GI Bill? Like take one of these courses, like one of these classes at the same time that I'm already enrolled in school? Do I have to I basically have to contact the VA to let them know like, hey, I'm interested in this, or that's where I'm kind of because I'm already enrolled in school. Shit, I start what's tomorrow? Shit, I start class tomorrow. Let alone I start class tomorrow. So um I have to contact the VA and see about doing this to see how I sign up to get enrolled into these certificates and have the VA like basically my GI Bill pay for it at the same time. Or is this something that I can stat pad with the VRE to basically like, hey, I want to complete my master's degree. I'm gonna complete my master's degree in May, but there's these classes that I want to take and these certifications that I want to take from the school to help advance my stuff after that. I probably should contact the VRE for this. So also the graduation / completion dates of any degrees or certificates push back the date of your ability to apply as a student. Is that for jobs or for some shit like this would be nice. Leadership and management. Leadership coaching strategies, that's another one. Managing yourself and others. Latest date of graduation completion adds new 2-year timeframes to student, recent graduate status. So you can apply open to the public, veteran, student, and recent graduate. Okay. So basically, I'm better off applying as just public and veteran instead of doing as student and recent graduate. Or is that does that differentiate it? Like, does that change the process of basically like, hey, I'm applying still as a student gets looked at differently compared to just applying public and veteran, or is it just really dependent on the job? Because the job, because basically it's, I'm still a student basically. So if I'm applying for jobs, I should just not put the student part, or am I putting that in there just so that they're aware that I am a student still? Student recent graduates are two separate additional application options that unlock even more. Oh, okay. So basically, you have each one of those is basically adding more availability and openings to you because some places want recent graduates and some people want students to. Got you. You can apply to student, public, and veteran. Certain jobs are only available to veterans and students. So basically, I have the ability to use all of those except for the recent graduate compared to just doing public and. Got you. Okay. I understand what you're saying. I'll see. I see what you're saying. Shit, there's a lot of homework. You just gave me like 8 different sites I gotta go through. Man, I'm gonna contact the VRE and see about this. Cause literally if I can get shit, I can go down the list and get all of these damn certificates and start adding them, and basically stuff that'll help leadership and management. All 6 of these, boom, knock these out and add that on there. Go to a different school, do the same thing. And like you said, stat pad. That Rolling Thunder, man, that shit hit different. All you hear is a damn store windows just rattling. Hold on, I gotta see something. I gotta give me 1 second on this mobile. Let me see something. One someone pushes that 2-year time frame back as a recent graduate. What do you like? So you're saying gaining new certifications, gaining new certificates pushes that 2-year time frame back as a recent graduate. Okay, so it pushes it 2 years from when I get the certification. So basically, if I'm able to finish these certifications before I finalize my thing, I get 2 years from when I graduate with my master's, and then 2 years. Okay. Okay. I'll be making some phone calls tomorrow, Monday, try to get this situated because this will. This will definitely be a big benefit because then having all this stuff on top of having my master's, a nonprofit leadership certification from my school, getting certificates from Harvard that are with leadership strategies and stuff like that. That'll set me up very well. And then that's also the availability. Like, yeah, I'll probably work a GS job, but if not, the private sector also has jobs, especially if I have those credentialing and that stat padding, like you want to put it, that'll also go a long way. So, why did it disconnected my live on mobile for some reason? So I definitely okay. I have social media again. Thank you. Thank you. It is greatly appreciated getting all this information. Greatly appreciated. You only got one subscriber. You got to change this, man. You need more subscribers. You need to up them numbers because this is a lot of information to use. This is a lot of information to use. Why does it keep on kicking me? Also important, complete the internal USA Jobs resume. It's robust and asks you for everything but the kitchen sink, and you can control P into a Word document and create your own resume templates. Okay. Internal USA Jobs resume. I don't have all this information here. Okay. Keeps on kicking my stream for some reason. I don't know why. All right, that'll. For some reason, it's not. For some reason, on my live, it's like not updating everything that's being said, and it keeps on disconnecting me on here. But for some reason, the other one is still working. Not as well though, which is interesting. Like some of the messages are updating and some are not. It's just like it's switching between both, and I'm not sure why it's doing that. Like on my phone, the messages have like completely wiped out. It's saying that I'm connecting and disconnecting. Then I have my live on PC, which is different. She's not reading it anymore. But definitely, this is definitely gonna be a resource I continue to use and I try to take advantage of. Um, like I said, this is the best thing about working with veterans, working assist veterans. It's the fact that you can assist them and gain information and learn so many things that they're finding resources and having resources that most people don't know about and educating them on them and benefiting veterans because it's going to benefit me, but then also I can pass this knowledge on to other veterans to assist them with their certifications and stuff like that. So um I finally have a social media. I appreciate you. I'm gonna definitely go make sure and subscribe. Um, again, thank you. Uh, thank you. Again, thank you. I don't know if you're hearing this. I don't know if you can see it. I know my stuff is like acting weird right now, where you can't. My phone is disconnecting, continues to disconnect. My phone is disconnecting, it's not reading the chat. My other stream is up. Um, gotcha. Okay, so at least you're on the regular on the widescreen one. Okay, not on the phone anymore because my phone one for some reason is crapping out. I don't know if it was. I don't know. Like when I stepped away a bit, like I guess there's no pause option on there. But I appreciate the hell out of you for all the stuff, all the information that you've been able to give me right now, all the information I've been able to obtain, and all the information that I'll be able to pass on to people just by doing more research and looking into it. But definitely, I will start working on my resume. I will start researching places to work, or at least job applications that, like I said, I'll go back to New York City if that's the case. Um, and then be able to do that, have the availability to do that, and stuff like that. I'm gonna end the stream on the phone because it doesn't seem to want to connect anymore. So that one will be ended. Yeah, we'll do it that way. But yeah, we'll continue with this one. Yeah, so I don't even know. Let me see what else. So we go to this. Does it even switch it? It's not even switching. Okay, let me do some changes with that. Got to make some changes. But definitely this has been a very, very informational VA workshop. I think on this one, this is one of the ones that where the VA workshop has benefited me more than I think it's benefited anybody else that has tuned in. Hopefully, whoever else is tuning in got a lot of information from that and learned a lot from that, because this is going to be a lot of information that will be handy to use. We went over the different programs and the different things that can be used. Code of Federal Regulations. We went over the M21, I believe is what it's called. M21. M21-1. Basically this site encompasses everything available, everything that's used, all the information, all the words found, and all that stuff. So it goes a bit more in depth than the 38 CFR, which is mostly used for the scheduler ratings. We got this information. We got information on working on GS jobs, basically using the Office of Personal Management, basically finding locality pay for geographic areas, talking about steps, GS steps, and improving or applying for higher grades, and then going with the two-step process, which you would get 2 steps up on that new pay grade. We've also talked about the educational assistance, the different resources that can be used there. Assistance for selected reserves, so basically all the different GI Bill types and the GI Bill information that's there. Survivors, the DIC, and also the Survivors and Independence Educational Assistance that we spoke about also and hit those topics too. And then also getting certifications while going to school, trying to get those certifications to add on top of all the education that you already have, and then having a GI Bill or the VRE program assist you with doing that. So those are a couple of things that we covered this time around. Like I said, this is something we do every week. We'll continue to do this weekly. We'll continue to try to assist veterans and keep on basically assisting veterans to talk about all the issues that we've spoken about, all the things we continue to go with these resources. It gives me a bunch more, a lot more information to be able to use and obtain and give other veterans. So we will definitely try to make videos encompassing all this information, basically breaking it down section by section to try to give more people information, because it'll give people better resources and actual resource to actually look into instead of it going by a just made statements or opinions. It's more of a factual based information learning that we can do with this. Once again, I want to appreciate, I finally have social media for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. I'm grateful that I'm grateful I was streaming, and I'm grateful that you stopped by and were able to inform me and give me all this information that has assisted me in being able to educate myself and hopefully learn to educate others also. So just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. Hope everybody has a great week. We will definitely do one of those. We're gonna do one of our late night hangouts at some point during this week, but I do start school, so streaming will kind of be limited, I would say. We'll try to do as best we can. But as always, appreciate y'all. Look out for one another, take care of one another, love one another, and be good to one another. Y'all be good. Y'all stay marvelous. I'm just Cruz signing out. Y'all have a good one. I'll check y'all out on the next one. And again, I finally have social media. Appreciate you. Can't say that enough. Everyone, make sure to have a good week. Rest of y'all time. I will check y'all out next time. Cruz signing out. Peace.